this bill if it becomes law. Mr. Speaker, we do know that some men also go through trying periods when their wives put to bed, particularly if there are health challenges accompanying such births. Sometimes the husband has to be running from one chemist to the other looking for drugs or some other support services for the wife who may be languishing in hospital. Mr. Speaker, there's a risk of double no jeopardy. While the husband is trying to protect the life of both his wife and his newborn baby, his place of work, maybe they're querying him. Look, we are not seeing you at work, therefore we will sanction you for not being in your place of work. Mr. Speaker, there is no better person than the father of a newborn baby or the husband of a wife who does put the bed.
Has to be looked in. Yes, I was saying we're talking maternity leave when paternity leave when the maternity leave, is still questionable. Questionable. Okay, all right. So let's start from Mr. Chris this time around on this issue of paternity leave.
While watching that gentleman, I asked her before they came up. Now your wife said now. Because truly, in a world where at a time when the rest of the world is moving fast. In fact, maybe very soon, this is a little bit of digression, we may soon be drinking our oil. Because right now, for instance, World Bank has stopped funding projects that are fossil fuel based, which is anything that has to do with hydrocarbons. They don't.
The world is now talking about renewable
energy
and all that. Yes.
People are beginning to experiment with water, fueling your car. All sorts. People are thinking high. And here, somebody is thinking paternity leave. In short, in layman's language, maternity leave for men. Do you understand? Does that make sense? Is that what we're looking at today? Do you understand? It's crazy. Right. For me, the only thing it has just done, the only sense I can pick from it, is that it has thrown up the issue of maternity leave. Let us look, the women are the ones bearing it. I don't participate in bearing the child, So I don't need a maternity or paternity leave, as it were. I only need the time to work so that I can take care of the mother and the baby. So if I do relax, mother is relaxing on some kind of paternity and maternity leave, who fits who?
No, but going on paternity leave doesn't mean you stop working. You just take a little break.
I'm just saying literally. Because literally what it means is you don't do what you normally do. So just stay at home and monitor the mother and assist. Oh well, you're putting it in perspective.
Yes.
But the truth of the matter, really, on a serious note, as much as one would not totally condemn him, for me the timing is wrong.
Okay.
Right now, our nation, the challenges facing our nation are far beyond this.
Okay.
So that's my take on it.
Okay. Mr. Dixon.
Yeah, I think the reps member Pajo from Betu is supposed to be seen as a very unserious person. For the guys, we have several challenges, as Chris said, and at this point of our democracy, somebody came up and said paternity leave. Maybe he has a pregnant mistress who is expecting that baby in the next few weeks. But let's just, it's condemnable. I don't like that kind of idea. But we say everybody has his own right or opinion. And if that's what his constituents voted him for, they should call him back and question him.
Okay, but Mr. Ikem, I really love us to
I don't even want to. Don't ask
no,
me a question. Because I have a problem with these two guys. I have a major problem with this guy.
Mr. Ikem, let me just add to the problem. Let me just add to the problem. You said something that you want us to actually think like the Westerners. It's only in Africa that I know that we have issues with paternity leave.
It's a global thing.
Other part of the world, it is allowed.
Yes.
People are being paid to actually go on paternity leave.
It's not just like Aglero. It's not just like Aglero.
Okay.
I don't know whether you guys were paid by the feminists to destroy men. But if you believe in equal opportunity, if you believe in equal ownership of the child between the father and the mother.
Yeah.
You should understand why there is need for paternity leave. That said, I am one of those people who believe that we have too many holidays in this country. We don't need more. But when you are talking about equal opportunity, when you're talking about equality of both parents towards the child, let me tell you, all of us have children. At the time the child is 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, that is the time the bonding takes place between the mother and the child, between the father and the child. Most men who miss those moments of carrying the baby and the baby's head is here listening to your heartbeat, you will miss the opportunity of connecting with that child for life.
God bless you, sir.
Okay.
I am coming.
God is blessing him already.
So, are you in the office looking for which work, which money, when what this man is saying is going to be a paid vacation, no matter how short.
And then it's
They
optional.
are not asking you.
It's optional.
They are not asking you, okay, oh, take this leave without pay. If it's a public service, they will pay you. If it is private sector, some banks in Nigeria are doing it at the
I know
moment.
of a bank that actually does it for
Some banks
men.
in
That's
Nigeria
a week.
are doing it at the moment.
Yes, 1 week,
Look,
yes.
If we are sincere about balance, it has to balance across all.
For me, it is
all
not
platforms.
even a gender issue. It's not a gender issue. This is about morals, what is right. A woman just put to bed. Are you aware some women actually have complications?
Look, let me even
you know,
say,
after childbirth.
in
They
Igbo
need-
land, we
they
have
need
your
assistance at that
mother-in-law
time.
coming for Omugo. In cosmopolitan Nigeria, most women do
Don't
not
have
come.
that kind of.
We are progressing
Some
to a
don't even have
time
mothers
when
to do that.
Omugo will be diluted. You understand? Who will provide support
For
for
the
that
woman
woman at that
and
very
the
critical
child.
point where she couldn't even stand up? Is it the house help that all of us are still holding conversations on how it must stop?
Exactly.
There must be a role for the father in the house at that point. Because that paternity leave is not for him to go and enjoy and stretch his legs and be pampered. Because it is for him to work, to
And
support
assist,
the mother
yes.
at that point where the woman
Is in
is not capable of doing a few things.
I think that if eventually this bill, whatever, passes through, and men actually get the 2 weeks or 1 month, they should go with an assessment form to be filled by the wife, so that we're sure
So that's
you
what
won't
I'm
want
saying.
your wife. We're sure they're doing
Now,
It
it.
was
Let-
ignorance
should
from the
let-
branch
let-
of the
let-
parliamentarians
let me
to have
say-
dismissed it that way.
Let
Go
me say
ahead.
one thing. Really.
Uh-huh.
I understand the place of the support of the man, of the spouse, for the fresh mother. I understand the bonding window. I understand all that. If your man is there by your side for 2 weeks, when you just put to bed,
It goes a long way.
It goes a long way. That is okay. But what I'm saying is that, if we're in, maybe we don't know the emergency we are facing in Nigeria today.
But this,
Let me
interject.
Let
This
me
has
finish.
nothing to do
Hold
with
on,
this emergency.
hold on.
Let him-
Hold
let him-
on, my
let him
brother.
have his say. Go ahead.
Hold on. And I'll give it to you. Right now, there's an air of uncertainty. All right? If the man loses a job, you have psychological problem already. Or if his job is not even paying, you have other psychological problem already as you just put to bed. See, what I'm talking about, I'm looking at the larger picture. Right now, this country is not a steady, stable country. There are so many things that need to be put right. I'm talking from a broader sense, perspective. It may not matter to you. There are countries who, when they appreciate what is facing them, they shut down system and everybody is on the deck. When they have now finally done what they need to do, then we can now start doing the normal things. It happens. I'm saying right now,
We are
as we
not
speak,
in the condition
we are
to be
not
talking
in
paternity
that
leave. Okay.
condition right now. Rather, we should be seen to be enhancing the one that is already established as a process. Like, for instance, the mother. What do we need to make sure that the woman, while she has just put to bed, is better taken care of? The men need to work. Let's face the matter. Do you understand? I understand that bit. In fact, if you want to break it down and put it in personal perspective, of course the guy goes to work, he comes back later in the evening. If he doesn't then do his work, that's his own problem.
He comes back in the evening tired.
Oh well, tired. Well, that's his own choice. I come back in the evening, no matter how tired I am, I must make sure that I must do my work. Those are inalienable function of the guy. So it's a personal thing, man.
Okay, but then giving men a little time off work, even if it's a week, you know, after your wife has put to bed, allows the man time to do the necessary running around in terms of, you know, even discharging the wife from the office without necessarily be tensed. You know, some people are shuffling up between office and hospital. It's not even healthy for the man. That's what I think.
Me, I don't understand that emergency that Nigeria is in, that will make a paternity leave a setback.
Well,
I don't understand.
Let me give you.
When I wanted to interject, you insisted I shouldn't interject.
No.
So just,
I'm sorry.
Just calm down.
Is it in the private sector or public sector?
Listen.
Calm down.
Look at the private sector. Look at the private sector. Hold on.
Hold on, Mr. Chris. Let him say something.
Calm down.
Quickly.
It is important for us. It has nothing to do with our productivity. Let's look at all those other places that we have gaps. Every day, a civil servant goes to work by 11 o'clock and leaves by 2. What has he contributed? Those are the areas we should be talking about.
That is
we
contextual.
have too many holidays.
That's contextual.
That stops the whole country. How many births happen in this country by people who are working?
What of a man?
We're going to see
a
that
man
on
that
May
has
29th.
4 wives, for instance, and maybe 3
No,
of
there's
them.
a legal limit now. You are entitled to only 4 children. The law recognizes 4, so you can do what you want to do with the rest. But
how many wives?
We don't
4 wives
have
times 2 weeks.
problem with this. That's not our problem. If you go to this whole country, the whole maternity hospitals here, how many births happen in a day?
Okay.
On May 29 now, everybody in Nigeria will sit down. We won't work because of a day called Democracy Day. And we have October 1. And we have Eid everything. We have Easter, we have Christmas, we have Boxing Day.
We have June 12th.
We have June 12th. And we create other emergency wars as it pleases us.
We are creating
Those are the areas we should look at because that is where it destroys our productivity. Not somebody who needs to reboot. Because the pressure of labor is also on the man. I have 3 children. It's only my second son that wasn't there when he was born. And that's because I was not in Lagos. The rest, I know, my first child, I didn't sleep for 4 days. My wife was in labor for 4 days and I was standing up, massaging her while she was on hot drip. I'm telling you,
some of
4
us are
days.
Hebrew women.
So if
Some
I was
women are not from
working, you think I didn't deserve extra days? When we got home the next morning, I was sleeping like a log.
And you won't even be productive when you're at work.
4 days, my eyes were not just that I wouldn't sleep. I was standing up, massaging. My leg, this one, and I was, you know.
Sorry,
why
this bill at this time?
No, it's not about the perfect husband. It's about
why this bill at this time? Why is he saying this at this? Why did he say it to us?
So which other time do you think?
Why is he that's what I'm saying. This kind of economy.
What I'm saying. My brother,
so when is the perfect time?
No, it's not about
now.
No, listen.
The economy is bad.
Hold on.
Insecurity is in the nation.
All right, we need to take a break. We'll continue our conversation. We need to take a break. We'll be back after this short one.
See, when I just
a video, didn't have audio. We'll look at it and see if we can set it right. All right, while we took that break, this issue of maternity leave was still ongoing.
Yes, so Mr. Chris was saying it's a good one, but it's coming at the wrong time.
But Mr. Ikem is all for it. I am all for it. You know, anything,
like it should be given.
Anything that allows a couple more time, you know, to take care of a baby.
Not
properly.
to have more babies. To have more babies.
That's not for you to have more babies.
No. Your wife just put together.
But you see, you raised something just now.
So you got
that was almost in passing. You said, what about the man who had like 4 wives? And at the same time, by some kind of God's grace,
three of them
put to bed. So he will ask for 2 times 3.
No, he will share the time.
No, he will share the time.
Now, you are complicating this by now. Let's look at it case by case.
He'll share the time.
Now, I say, what percentage of Nigerians
now we are complicating the way we contextualize.
No, he'll share the time because we only have one night in 24 hours anyway. He shares it between 4 women. So you find a way.
Let's look at the law. Let's look at it as a whole.
You have outside.
Outside.
You have outside.
All right, this issue of paternity leave is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. It's a global thing. Around the world, in the US, in Denmark particularly, I think they take as much as 4 months or so, and it's paid for.
They have another society.
So that they can bond with that baby.
Society.
I guess this paternity thing all has to do with the African race in general.
Have issues with.
Yes. People like Mr.
Are you aware there are men who run away from their wives once she gets pregnant? Do you know there are men like that?
Those are stupid men.
Yeah, you know, so we need to start correcting all these things. Okay, let's move on because of our time. El Rufai rained curses on Kaduna senators. Apparently, the governor is not happy with the role played by 3 senators representing Kaduna State at the National Assembly on the rejection of the $350 million World Bank loan for Kaduna State. Governor Nasir El Rufai on Friday rained curses on the senators and prayed God to punish them. All right, the governor was furious in his utterances, and he said, and I quote, "They are useless representatives who are against the approval of the loan such that the school, roads, hospitals, and other good projects started in the state are not completed. Today, there are no enemies of Kaduna State like Suleiman Hunkui, Shehu Sani, and Danjumala, who are the 3 senators, by the way. May God punish them and pay them back with their intentions. May God punish them and pay them back with their intentions," he repeated again.
In addition, he also said anytime they come down to the state, they should shave their head or something. The governor having such utterances.
I don't understand what governance is turning into.
I think a lot of things are unraveling about certain individuals. We were just talking about Fayemi and the ego tripping that is taking him back to the government house. A lot of people we held in very high esteem for certain things are revealing certain tendencies and traits that you just shouldn't tolerate. I had tremendous respect for El Rufai, especially the creativity he brought to bear in Abuja. Not even Abuja, before Abuja, at the Bureau of Public Enterprises. He sat at it. There were issues like there are in this country, but the first time I listened to him at then Golden Gates was the event destination in Lagos. The first time I listened to him, I was telling myself, this is the president Nigeria needs. And eventually he went to Abuja and there was a revolution. Today he stuck to that master plan. People complain, especially my people, that they are building illegal structures were being destroyed. He didn't budge. He revoked a lot of documents forthrightly following the master plan. Now, I may not understand the reasons, the politics behind the rejection of that loan. But I want to assume that there are better ways of responding. There are better ways of pitching that thing even to those people who have said no now than placing very superstitiously primitive curses on them and ranting even in the public. He didn't need that. It's not profiling him right, and he's now setting himself against 3 of his senators, he may be the chief executive officer of the state, but I am not sure whether he's going to unite the state better by fighting with 3 senators representing the 3 legs of that state. I am not sure he's
Okay, all right, because according to those reports, Senator Shehu Sani explained that the Kaduna State also had already indebted the tune of $232 million, noting that the $350 million again, if it's been approved, is actually going to skyrocket.
Of course.
The debt of the state,
Which
and that was why they
makes
did not approve it.
Which makes sense for me.
Sense.
Let's see the governor's report card. All your federal allocations, the loan you have taken, what happened to them?
Exactly.
What have you done with them that is warranting an additional $350 million loan? If you are spending more than you're earning, then something is wrong. Where have you spent it? Are you spending it in investable places where the state needs to reap returns, either in terms of manpower, quality of manpower, or in terms of other productive areas where we will know that we will recover these things?
Plus, again, how viable is the state in terms of internally generated revenue? This is a state that is owing salaries too, if I'm correct.
I was in Kaduna
What are we talking
about 2 weeks ago. There are a few things in the area of road infrastructure. But then, the governments in Nigeria are governments of road construction. They don't do another thing apart from road construction.
Sorry, while we are weighing the pros and cons of taking that loan, I'm totally against the use of words by the governor. They go punish and not punish. But don't forget the fact that it's a CPC politician or from Nigerian CPC within the APC. Why she was running other this is for almost 2 years now. The fight has been on. But the use of words by a respected person like Rufai, the governor, is something that is very, very,
you know, this loan issue is almost becoming a status symbol. Lagos got it, Edo got it, some other state, I don't know which other state got it, so why not me? That's my first impression.
Okay.
And when you look at, like Shehu Sani said, first of all, it's a no-brainer. You can't be owing how much, and you are going to add another. And we have not seen anything to show.
You did with the first one.
First one. So it's just logical that nobody will give you a listening ear to that. And I believe that Rufai has gotten up. For one, I have never been a fan of Rufai. Right from Abuja, where I lived.
Really?
I never was a fan. I never disliked him, I never hated him, but I just believe that while a lot of people were clapping for him, his creativity was short some steps. I don't want to go into that for today, but he could have been a hero, given the opportunity he got as minister at the time, but he blew it, and that's his own story. But well, some people believe that was what won him their hearts. But the thing is this, Rufai, well, my colleagues have talked about his use of words. I'm not surprised. He's a very emotional person, all right? But what I'm looking at the issues. The thing is that Rufai needs to sit down and run Kaduna State with the super brain that he had at BPE, to run that place and run it with some level of humanity. That is almost lost. We need to have that. See, I've seen, like I said, I've studied Nigerian government over decades, and I've come up with one thing. It's the same drama every year, every government. But you look at the issues, and you find out that you find them short to zero. Kaduna, as it is today, is almost becoming like a failed state among all other states. Just like Benue now, you hear, in Kaduna they don't use herdsmen. They use hoodlums or what, and bandits.
They just killed 45 the other day.
So, amidst that, you are causing people who are trying to save you from further death. But of course, you know one thing. These governors, it's you and I who look, it is you and I who will look at the broader perspective of going to get a loan, the effect on the people on the street. Yeah, the guy doesn't see it that way. He sees that he's going to sign for one huge sum.
From the World Bank.
From the World Bank, and when that sum comes, he has his courts. Some agents to that loan have their courts. That is the way they look at this money. So it's you and I wasting our time. As far as I'm concerned, Really, if you, the monies these people get can run their states, can do their bits from the allocation. That's what I think.
You know, my problem with this, most of these loans they take is they are not secured against projects. They are not secured against things that bring in money.
Yes.
As in, I am taking this loan and this crop which will continue yielding, I am going to pay.
They are not investable.
They are not investable. They are secured against federal allocations.
Yes.
Means that if they take that loan, by next year, deductions will start coming from money they have not earned. That is what they secure. Okay, the analysis is there. Every month, our federal allocation is 3 billion. So if you take that billion, with all the interest, every month they keep deducting money. That's what happened in Ekiti. I mean, in Osho State, that at a point the state was getting, is it 400,000 naira or 4 million naira in allocation? Because they own so much that once the money drops, the banks take everything and
left with nothing.
And the state will be left with nothing. If they are tied against other assets apart from income that hasn't come, and because these banks know that every month they must go to Abuja and share money.
Of course.
So they will give you that loan and you use expected earnings to secure a facility.
Which is not a wise financial decision.
It's not good.
Wow. Well, you know, in governance, we can agree to disagree, you know, but no bad blood. But where it gets to the point where a governor of the state starts to rain curses, you know, on... then it becomes something.
But funny enough, the three senators have actually spoken well because they've defended why they actually rejected the loan.
But there's something else here that we didn't even. He has threatened that should those guys come,
yes,
he is the chief security officer of that state. He has the power, as Babangida said sometime, that he has the power. He's the manager, chief manager of violence in that state. So if those three individuals are coming to the state, somebody starts to spoon them from the airport or from wherever they're coming from, don't be surprised.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, that's about all we can take on the show today. It's been a very interesting afternoon with you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ikem Okuhu. Thank you, Mr. Dixon Akiwomi. Thank you for coming. And also Mr. Chris Otaigbe. Thank you. We enjoyed having you on the show.
And we've initiated you.
Initiated? I don't know about that.
I'm
not a cultist.
To our forums.
Our parliament. All right, thank you so much for watching the show today. Let's do this again tomorrow at noon. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.